Hello, my name is Erica Terblanche. I'm a positive psychologist and I am passionate about bringing people the science of happiness at no cost. This is the third episode in our series on the building blocks of happiness. In this episode, we are going to be talking about the power of positive emotion. Last week, we spoke about the greatest myth of happiness and not waiting for one day when I. Today, we're going to learn perhaps the most powerful tool for cultivating our minds. Now, let's get straight into it. Very often in my coaching practice, I see that people struggle with habitual negative emotion, habitual anxiety, habitual stress, habitual low self-esteem, really haven't gotten into this mode where they can't step out of that particular set of negative emotions. And we know that these negative emotions over time impact our mental health, impact our levels of happiness, make us depressed. This is the fundamental problem if one lets one mind run wild without governing and cultivating one's mind. So for some of you who know me not as a positive psychologist, but as an endurance runner, I do long-distance endurance racing, anywhere from running 270 kilometers over 7 days to running 200 kilometers at any one point in time. Most of these races happen in the desert, 50 degrees Celsius heat, carrying everything you will need for 7 days on your back. And I promise you, in these races, you will encounter a low moment, let's call it a dark night of the soul. And I use these practices of mental resilience. The practice I'm going to teach you today, every single time it pulls me out of the most difficult moments and helps me to get back into my body, back into my performance, and back on the course. I have won some of the world's biggest and most difficult 7-day races, and I promise you it is because of what goes on in my mind and not because of what goes on in my body. I'm going to introduce you to Dr. Barbara Fredrickson. She's probably one of my favorite researchers, and she talks about power of positive emotion. And that if you can get yourself into one positive emotion, be that emotion or appreciation, gratitude, hope, that emotion triggers an upward spiral of positive emotion. One positive emotion leads to the other. And what is really, really important about this is that when we begin to repeat things, if you repeat a particular emotion, whether it is being feeling like a victim or feeling like a champion, whether it is feeling grateful for what you have or feeling resentful about what you don't have, what you repeat is who you become. It's about neuronal patterning. We develop neural circuits around the things that we repeat. So the so what, now what of positive emotion is this. If you understand that what it is that goes on in your head, what you repeat is who you become over time, we need to become uber vigilant and aware. This is where the practice of awareness comes into play. We need to become aware of what is going on moment to moment in our minds, so that when we begin to find ourselves on a downward spiral, sometimes it feels like a sugar low, but when we find ourselves on a downward spiral, that we can arrest the fall. And in the next episode, I am going to teach you one of the most profound practices that can pull you out of emotional freefall, literally in 90 seconds. Can't wait to see you in the next episode.